Hello, Lieutenant Kayla Detmer here from Star Trek Discovery, here to ask you to join in with Commodore Ty to discover the world of pop culture. The adventure has begun.
Incoming message from Commodore Ty.
Hello, this is your Commodore. Ty Coles here, your commanding officer to pop culture, especially the nerdy stuff. And welcome to another episode of Throwback Thursday. This one, we will take a look at the Time Tunnel. Season 1, Episode 5, The Last Patrol. This was a very interesting episode where Tony and Doug, after just surviving the attack on Pearl Harbor, go into another famous battle in U.S. history. They get transferred to Louisiana, the final battle of the War of 1812. So they're going around and they steal some natives' clothes. But then shortly after, they are taken prisoner by the British troops.
Feet, you.
And are found to have passes to the American lines in their clothes. So they are court-martialed as spies and sentenced to death by firing squad.
This is quite conclusive. It is the unanimous judgment of this court that you be found guilty of the crime with which you are here charged. The court hereby sentences you to be executed by firing squad. The sentence to be carried out immediately. All right, Major, take it.
While this is happening in present day, a British Army General, Colonel Southall, played by the great late Carroll O'Connor, you may know him as someone else.
Accessing.
French there, wise guy. You know why they lost World War II? Because when the Crouch was marching into their country, the French was running around naked, putting up dirty statues and throwing cheese in the potato.
And he's brought into the time tunnel so he can establish what exactly the location they are in.
The battle was fought on January 7, 1815.
The date our synchronizers gave us was January 6th.
But the British will attack at dawn.
And he recognizes his ancestor, Colonel Southall, also played by Carroll O'Connor. And this episode just shows you the skill of Carroll O'Connor and how well of an actor he was. Because he not only played one role, he played two. And he describes his ancestor and the regiment that he's a part of.
Yes, that's the 7th, all right. They wore blue facings on their red coats. That's the Butcher's Regiment.
And that this was a very bloody day in British history. So during the episode, the Colonel is trying to get Tony and Doug to tell him everything he knows about General Andrew Jackson's forces.
Now listen, the only truth I want is the disposition of Jackson's line. I want a listing of his forces and his artillery, and I want to know his movements for the next 24 hours.
We can't tell you that because we don't know.
So he tries to tell him, oh, if you help me, I'll let you go.
No, I won't, Colonel.
Yes, you will. And if you and the captain are back here by dawn, then your friend will be set free. Otherwise, of course, he'll be shot.
But in realistically, has no intention to letting him go because they were tried fairly and sentenced to death, and they will carry out those orders.
The two prisoners have been tried by a proper court-martial and found guilty. The Time of execution is only a matter of personal discretion.
So as Tony takes one of the captains to go infiltrate the American lines, Doug stays back and he still questions Doug about it, but Doug refuses to answer because Doug knows he's going to kill him regardless.
Well, my dear sir, I have really no desire to see you dead. But if you force me to it...
You're lying, Colonel. Your intentions are to kill me no matter what I do or say. That's the truth, and I know it.
And with Tony, he saves the captain not once, but twice from certain death, and the captain still wants to kill him because of his orders.
Would I kill you? Kill him? But he just saved your life! Colonel Southall gave orders to execute him.
Then back in the present day, the general admits that he doesn't have long to live. He has nothing really going for him right now, and he wants to go into the past, talk to his ancestor, to question him, to get into his mind of what the hell was he thinking when he sent his troops to attack Jackson's strong side.
I want you to send me back there. It's out of the question. I want to talk to this man. I have to know what he was thinking. Why he butchered 500 men.
And this question is answered in the episode. That he was going to have a rocket fired, and the direction of the rocket will indicate the weak side.
Where's the rocket? West! West? That means we attack Jackson's west flank. That's the weak side. All right, give the order to march. Oh, by the way, I trust you heard my order to attack in accordance with the rocket.
But because the people fired the rocket in the wrong direction, he ended up going to the strong side, which was the west side, but they knew he needed to go to the east side. I'm a little confused, though, about this, because the captain realizes that it was fired in the wrong direction.
No. No, you faced the rocket the wrong way.
But he saw them set it up. Why didn't he say something before the rocket fired?
The rocket to the east, Lieutenant. That's Jackson's weak side, and like the fuse.
So the general goes back in time and he talks to his ancestor, the colonel, to the west. And that's where he orders his troops. And he realizes his ancestor wasn't a butcher. He just mistaked a misfired rocket.
Colonel Southall was not a butcher. He made an honest error.
And he wants history to recognize that and to clear his family's name. And they are both killed in the battle. And shortly after the general's death, they are transferred out and again to who knows where. We'll find out next week. An interesting note, though, about this episode, that they say the battle occurred on the 7th. It actually occurred on January 8th and not January 7th. I also wish that we got to see someone play General Jackson, a man that will later become the 8th president of the United States. It'd be interesting to get some information from him about the battle. So, overall, a great episode. Gives you a little bit of insight of American history and a good watch. And we get to see the brilliance of Carroll O'Connor. So for your Commodore Ty Coles, live long and prosper. Hailing frequencies closed.
Thank you for watching the video. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, watch one of my many other videos, and if you like what you see, you can support the channel by donating to my PayPal.
So, for Commodore Ty, live long and prosper all, and for now, until next time, the hailing frequencies are closed.